Buddha. What's going on, Chico? Buddha. What's going on, Chico?
All right, we are back. This is a beautiful day. This is a beautiful day. This is an important day because we get to hear what Kevin Walsh brings to the table for the economy. We don't know what the Fed decision will be on today. So I'm a little bit interested in that, being able to see how this thing play out. We got the charts pulled up. We're gonna get ready to mark the charts up to get ready to trade on today. We're looking at ES to trade ES on today. And the good thing is we might be a little bit bullish on today. It remains to be seen though. I don't know what's going to come once we get our Fed decision on today. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Kevin Walsh decides to handle business though. That's really like the main thing. So what do you all have going for today? What is your bias on today? Are you indecisive with how you want to trade, what tickers are you looking to trade on today. I know one thing though last night that I do want us to take a look at is precious metals. Just take a look at what I was looking at last night. Let me just show you all what I was looking at last night on the daily with precious metals first and foremost. And I'm looking at this from a continuation setup, right? And I just want you all to give your take on it and what you think based off of what it is that I'm about to show you. So if I could just move this out the way to give us some room. All right, we're looking at silver here. And looking at silver, this is what I see. We went into this, we had a pullback here and we went into this little consolidation phase, right? This lasted for a good minute. I know over 100 and some odd days, right? So we're looking at about 138 days of where we've been consolidating since this move. So is silver primed to be able to start trending back up? Like, is this a time to start loading up on silver, or are we still bearish, right? Are we still bearish with silver? What's your take on that? Like, based off what it is of what we see. So we see, I'm gonna just highlight these for us so that we could be able to see this real quick. We have support here. We have support here. And we have support here where price came back to support. This is what we have, right? So we see strong support here on this trend line. And until we break this trend line, we're still bullish. Silver is still bullish. And right now, I'm thinking about loading up on silver. I mean, this is not no financial advice at all, but this is me thinking about loading up on silver as I take a look at it on the daily. Just a look at that. We're still in the upward trend, creating higher highs and higher lows, right? We retrace back. And if you want to just see it from the point of, well, Jeremy, what was the retrace back, even though we're looking at it on the daily, right? I'm sorry. We were wrong with that. All right, impulsive move here. Look at where we pull back to. We're in the golden zone. We are in the golden zone. This is the golden zone. Why do you think it reacted the way that it reacted at 64.70, at 64.75? Look at the reaction at 64.75. That's all I'm saying. Soon price hits that key level and sweeps there at that level of support. Look at the bounce back. You could see buyers in here, and you could see buyers stepping in here. This gives me a clear indicator that silver is still bullish. Precious metals, when you look at it. Let's take a look at gold. I mean, even when you take a look at gold, are you not seeing the same thing? I mean, look at this trend line. This trend line dates all the way back to 2023. 2023. Support here. Support here. Support here. And look at where we are. It bounced on support, and you see buyers stepping in here at this level. I'm gonna zoom in so that you all will be able to see the charts a lot better than, so you can see more closer up to what it is of what I'm saying. But look at the level of supports that's here. Strong support, right? So that validates our trend line, and you see buyers stepping in here. So it's the same as that thing, right? So what we want to see is us go from our recent swing position to our high. And look, once we hit that golden zone, let's go to our more like so to here. Now with gold, gold still has a little bit of a bearish sentiment, just a little bit, right? It still has some resistance that it has to break through. But I mean, with precious metals, man, I'm literally thinking that, you know, things are going to start to turn in a little bit, especially on silver. The more that I look at silver, more that I look at silver. So let's go ahead and get into the details on today and what it is of what we have. We got our quick rundown right quick while we have 15 minutes, right? So we're gonna go ahead and sort through these things and get rocking this morning. So what do we have first? First and foremost, how many of you been taking a look at these plays right here? And we're gonna go on the stock market real quick before we hit into futures. But did you see the move on Dave and Buster's on yesterday? Let's go to intraday. Did you see the move on Dave and Buster's on yesterday? You see that move? Dave and Buster's is I mean, this is a potential buy, right? For Dave and Buster's. Taking a look at Dave and Buster's. These are the trades of what we were taking a look at on yesterday that stood out to us. And I'm really interested more into how this setup is going to play out for Dave and Buster's. So what happened was they came out with their quarterly revenue numbers and nothing panned up like the way that it was supposed to, right? Gold doesn't lose depreciation. I want to buy some. Yeah, gold right now is in bit of a retracement, right? So gold, this is how I look at it, and I tell people this all the time. Precious metals is God's money, right? So over $1 trillion within market cap, um, within gold. So you don't, it doesn't move much, but it is deemed as a store of value. So when we talk about the difference between gold and Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is still considered a store of value, but in a sense overall, that's man's money. God's money is the silver and gold. Now we know that silver is manipulated. Gold has been on a magnificent run. Obviously, it's suffering through a pullback. Do I think that it has pulled back enough for us to enter into a buy zone? No, not yet. Not yet. Silver is showing so much strength, but with gold, not quite yet, right? So we don't want to enter into it too early while we're still pulling back because we could be losing money right there, and it will, we don't want to put anything to where we're going to be losing automatically. So we kind of want to be patient when it comes to that. But I do see gold, once it enters into a buy zone for me, um, that's when I'm definitely going to load back up on more gold. So this morning, what we have for you all, we have earnings today on JBL, PGR, and KMX. So we're going to take a look at JBL real quick. These are our earning plays of what we could possibly be looking into. And boy, would you look at here. Look at it already. this morning in pre-market, JBL has just soared and taken off this morning. Has soared and taken off. Let's look at PGR. So Progressive, we see Progressive right now hasn't really done too much in the pre-market, but it is very bullish this morning. Progressive is very bullish this morning, so we got to keep our eyes on there. And we also have KMX, which is CarMax. I was actually looking at CarMax. So we see CarMax to the downside. CarMax have been on a magnificent run. Like if you just take a look at this run that CarMax have been on, um, even when you look at it from the 15-minute chart or whichever the case may be, it's been in an ascending channel. So obviously at some point, right? Like we knew it was going to break, and now that's exactly what you got, right? So you can see that it was in this ascending channel. And this is what you have. You have this breakdown being in this ascending channel here where you had a break. Obviously, it popped right back into the channel, and then it just failed here this morning based on earnings coming up. So we'll see how this plays itself out. We're going to move into now our futures market, right? We're going to take a look into our futures market and go ahead and get ready for today. But let's see what we have here. So it's looking like we are below midnight open. So if we could find midnight open, go ahead and mark that out. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. All right, so here we have midnight open. Let's go ahead and get our coordinates correct on here. All right, we'll go ahead and put that here. So we're below midnight open, right? And we're actually in a premium right now. So, and we've been ascending up. If we drop down to the 1 minute so that you could be able to see. So, what are we looking for today in the markets, right? So, obviously, we're looking for the next draw on liquidity. That's what we're looking for. Um, we do have some bullish momentum happening here. But again, I want to see that next draw on liquidity. We do have We are logged into our account. So this is what we have going on. Do 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 do. So do we get a pullback, right? Once market open, do we get a pullback back into a discounted zone? This is where we do have a good level of liquidity. I'm gonna mark that out, right, with a horizontal line going straight across. But this level here, I'll do a horizontal ray from here on over. But that right there is another level of the draw of liquidity of what we have that's there. And we also have it too right above midnight open, right? So this is where it gives me a sense of where right above midnight open we can literally draw back to these targets and these levels here. So let's pull this back. And as you can see, we did pull back into this zone. So here's our next ray of our next draw here, right? Obviously not there, but here. So we'll line this up. So we're gonna play in between these ranges, right? To see how this thing unfolds and how it plays out. Obviously, we see a retracement happening prior to market open. So market opens in about 4 minutes. And this is where we are right now. So let's be patient today. We have some very, 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 very important news happening on today. Very important news happening on today. And you already know what time it is when it comes to that. Those of you who haven't been involved in FOMC and this is your first time, you're going to see a lot of volatility take place within the market based upon what this man right here says. Kevin Warsh. And so here's my take on Kevin Warsh. Wow, look at how we respected uh price within this fair value gap here. But this guy, Kevin Warsh, I just want to talk about him for a little bit. Do you think he comes in to try to set the tone? Or do you think he come in just a little bit lethargic, right? Wow, look at that move to the downside. Market is not even open yet and look at that volatility. But do you think he comes in like a little bit lethargic, or do you think he comes in more with like with a point to prove, right? Like I know in one of his uh his talks, he did talk about like how he does not want us to have a predetermined idea as to where the market is going to go, right? Like or where or what is going to happen as far as like interest rates. You're right? You know how good we've been at predicting if they're going to cut rates. We just didn't know how much, whether it was going to be 25 basis points, 50 basis points. We just did not know exactly how much, but we had a great idea as to what was going to happen before it happens. And if you were really smart, especially during Jerome Powell's last uh year or so, you would have took advantage of opportunities of what we had on that Robinhood presented us, right? Like we actually had an opportunity to be able to bet on that. And it was consistent on what it was that the Fed was going to do because it was like everything was already priced in throughout that time frame. So if you was taking the 90 cent, 98 cent uh bet on Fed decision, you would have made a lot of money. You'd have just doubled your money each and every time. The time now of where I would say hold off on doing that is with Kevin Warsh and what his whole idea is going to be. I know he is pro crypto, That is one reason why Trump supports him heavily. Is because he is pro crypto. Market just now opened, and look at that move to the downside. So we are moving in what it seems to be into this discount zone on this pullback. So hopefully we can move and pull back and draw on this liquidity that's right here, and then we could possibly look for longs right on that next draw. So we could look for loans above midnight open. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Y'all give me 1 second.
Buddha. What's going
I
on,
gotta step
Juco?
away 1 second. But look at this draw on liquidity of what we're having here. So we're gonna get a nice, beautiful setup for today, and I'm just waiting for it. So just give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Wow, look at that reaction. What did I say? Nice draw on liquidity there. Let's see how this thing plays itself out. See if we could get a beautiful setup. We are headed into these lower lows here. This will be our, we got an alert right there. This will be our discount zone right here. So we want to see how this plays itself out. But I am very interested in, also, while we're sitting here waiting, let's take a look at M&Q. Look at that pull and that draw on M&Q. I really feel like it's coming here on a low. Low resistance liquidity run here. So I honestly, you all think we're prime for longs. This is just, I mean, this is the manipulated move here, in my opinion. And if you want to know what it is of what I'm looking for this. This is what I'm looking for. I'm gonna show you. This is, so we have accumulation that happened right now. We're having our manipulated move down, and then we have distribution going up. If there's anybody in the chat who knows what this is, tell me. What is it that I'm looking for? Can anybody tell me what I'm looking for? Let's go back to ES. Wow, look at how it respect that level that's there. Buyers are stepping in right here. And they're looking very strong. Like we didn't even touch discount zone. We have previous day low literally below our discounted zone, but we're still waiting to see. So nobody don't know in the chat of what I am looking for exactly. I know somebody knows. It's called Power of Three. Okay. Where you have accumulation, which is taking place here. This is our manipulation here. And we're looking for distribution back to midnight open. And it have a draw on liquidity that is sitting here. That is our setup for today. Power of Three. That is our setup for today. So let's just see if our model presents itself. So when you want to be a great trader, and we're gonna do this, I'll be doing this more in our PM sessions. So when we have our PM sessions, I'll do a little bit more educating on our PM sessions because I like to lock in during AM session on New York just to be able to get um a really good trade opportunities as they present themselves um in the AM. But we're going to be harping in a lot more on our educational side, right? For those of you who here, let's get this going too. For those of you who are trading, we want to be able to educate you solely on what your system and what your model should be. Because there's time and time again where I ask a lot of people who are traders, and I would ask them, and they're new to the game. Hey, what is it that you trade? What is your model? What is your system like? What is your win rate? How often have you back tested it just to see if it's something proven that you could take into a live market? And most people can't honestly give you that. They say multiple different things. And so they have all these strategies in what they're trading and what they're looking for, that it screws up their capital. It screws up their capital. And one thing it is of what we always talk about is we want to be great risk managers. If you are a great risk manager, then you will be able to manage someday, you know, thousands of dollars as your starting point, and once you get millions, you'll be able to manage the millions. Think about you managing a $20 billion company like Mr. Kenneth Chenault, who we've been learning about all this week. Who is the what? The CEO of American Express. Well, he was the CEO of American Express for 17 years, right? So, him being the first black man being the CEO of that company, right? We could be primed for shorts and be looking for shorts here, but I'm solely just waiting on a reversal. I'm not engaging into the markets yet. So, with Mr. not Kevin Watch, but Mr. Kenneth Chenault, he always talked about in this book, right, of what we all were supposed to be trying to get and trying to read, right? This book here. I'll go to it and show you our book of the day. In chapter 1, he always pointed out, right, of something that his father taught him was to control what you can control. And one thing that you can control is what? Your performance. Your performance, how you tend to show up each and every day. How you tend to prepare, how do you tend to get ready? You know, those things are what you can control. We can't control the markets at all, period. We can't control how the markets may move, right? Because we know the markets are manipulated. It's up to us to be able to find the best probabilities within the market. So look at how it has this draw here on liquidity. We're looking for a sweep here though. I would love to have a sweep here on this liquidity here, and then we start looking for longs. That's what I would like to see. So with Mr. Kenneth Chenault, him being the founder of American, not founder, but the CEO of American Express Company, how many can guess how much money he was managing? Can you guess in the chat how much money he was managing? And if you're tuning in, please hit that like button on the chat, please. If you're in the chat, please hit the like button. It helps with the visibility of the show. But how much money do you think Mr. Kenneth Chenault was managing being the CEO, right, of American Express? And trust me, it wasn't pennies. It wasn't pennies. So the same thing can be for you, right? Like when in your career as a trader, your job is to protect capital. All right, guys, it looks like we did tap into that discounted zone here, so we may be primed looking for possibly having an opportunity here to get into a trade. Hold on, I want to go ahead and log into my account. All right, we are logged into our account. All right, we just had a shift in market structure. That's here. That's a shift in market structure there. Now let's see what is next that we're looking for. What are we looking for next to happen? Oh, I think we're going to get a fill here. I'm entering.
Order filled.
All right, so we're now entered into our position. So we're looking for something that is like this, though. This is what I'm looking for. Right, we have a draw here. I'm looking for us to break above midnight open, and we have a draw here on liquidity here. That's what I'm looking for. So let's see what we get. Beautiful move. Let's go ahead and mark out. Right at midnight open is where we're going to take off a contract right at midnight open, and then we're going to look to be able to close at full TP at 76.12. One second, son. What's up? Uh oh. Uh oh. Just sit it down for me. So we're just going to be patient. We're going to exercise patience. Here, bring it back. All right, let's put a stop loss in place. We want to be able to. I'm looking for possibly. All right, we see that we are pulling back here. Which is fine. We're going to continue to be patient and see what we get. So as the trade is playing itself out, right? Uh I want to know you all's idea as to what it is you think, right? Hold on, let's do this. Sometimes for most people, now I will say this, did we enter in perhaps maybe too early being the first initial buyers? Sometimes what we do like to do is wait for a little bit more confirmation. Where does that little bit of more confirmation comes from? A little bit more of that confirmation comes from what? A break above midnight open. So a break above midnight open, we could possibly look for continuation, right? To give us more confirmation. So sometimes being an early buyer and jumping in early like how we've done here, right? Sometimes pans out for you and sometimes it don't. So we're gonna go ahead and put our stop loss in place. That's right there. We'll change this down to 1. Confirm. Patience is everything. Patience is everything. Thank you. That was my fault. So let's take a look at the 5 minute. I mean, looking at it on the 5 minute, I still like this trade. I don't want to jump out of it early at all, period. I still want to wait. We are entering into that fair value gap. That's on the 5 minute, right? We are inverting that 5 minute fair value gap. So let's just see. Let's be patient and see. We're in a little bit of a drawdown, but I still think we're good. I still think we're good. Now, while this trade is playing out, I do want to take a look at those numbers are shares, correct? These numbers. What numbers are you talking about specifically? I don't like this reaction at all. I don't like how we reacted to that fair value gap on the 5 minute. Hopefully we could get a push here though. We have buyers that are super strong here. We already entered into that discounted zone, but I'm still not looking to be able to get out of this trade. I still want to hang on to this trade. So what do you mean by those numbers specifically? Which numbers are you talking about? Beautiful reaction. This is what I wanted to see here. So hopefully we could go ahead and get a continued push going forward. Left of sell limit. So those are contracts. Those are contracts. So we entered into this trade with two contracts. Hopefully we could get what we want on this trade. I'm just exercising patience here. We are first buyers too. That's another thing that I want you all to understand. Like being first, sometimes you have to sit through a little bit of volatility, right? That's why you have to have uh the right stop loss in place. You have to have, because you're going to have that drawback sometimes, right? Sometimes that do happen. So being first buyers, you may have to risk a little bit more because price can come back and revisit certain levels. That's why sometimes we do like to wait above midnight open. But because of where I see where liquidity lies, this is my reasoning as to why I went on ahead and entered into the trade, was because of where we have that next draw on liquidity and how close it is to midnight open. So I have reasoning, and if we get stopped out here in this trade, hey, it's okay. We'll just set up to be able to take another shot at it. We'll look to take another shot at it. But we are looking at this from the 5 minute. I do want to move back down to the 2 minute to see what it is that what we have. So a little bit below, right here where our first initial TP is, we do have a 15 minute fair value gap there, right? So if we go up to the 15 minute chart right here, we do have this gap that's right here of what I'm paying attention to. So I am paying attention to that. as well. But look at these wicks on the 15 on the 15-minute chart. Look at these wicks. And this is a reason as to why I know yesterday, what happened to us yesterday? We get wicked out of our position yesterday and price draws literally to where we said that price was going to go to. And we see weakness forming here, but there's a lot of sellers that are here in this area, but I think buyers are going to step in heavy. Buyers should step in heavy. We don't have another anything else of what should be holding us back here at this level. There's nothing that should be holding us back. Looking like we're about to get stopped out. Were we too early? I don't know.
Stop field.
And we did get stopped out. So the first trade of the day, obviously, look at that. Are we showing overall bearishness within the market? Let's take a look at the 4 hour. And we are. Do our buyers need to switch? I don't know, man. I don't want to change. I don't want to switch my bias. I do believe at some point we take midnight open. We're drawing back down to that level of liquidity. Maybe we get a sweep there and then the long, which is here. Which is here. We get a sweep here. So let's see how it goes. See how it plans itself out. We did invert on that 15-minute fair value gap here, but to me, I don't think that was enough for us to be even pulling back. Maybe we have chop day. Maybe we chop until FOMC before the Fed's decision. All right, mm, so it's looking like we're coming to sweep previous day low. And that's at 75.77. We might be able to go short here if that's what it's looking like. So we got previous day low that sits right here. Could be a draw there on previous day low. We'll see. Let's be patient. It's now 10 o'clock, so maybe we could catch silver bullet. Gosh, for some reason I don't know if I want to short yet. But I may go ahead and enter into shorts. Let's just see how our reaction is off of this fair value gap. Interesting how the market decided to play itself for today. This is quite interesting. So let's be patient. Let's be patient. Let's be patient. Mm. I'm still looking for loans above midnight open. That's what I still want. If we could sweep previous day high, I'm cool with that. And then we get longs above midnight open, psh, we're money. So I'm still wanting to keep my initial bias in place. I don't want to shift and change anything at all. It's just a matter of being patient. Now, one thing it is that I am going to take a look at is, let's see if we were to take it's high here. If we catch a break above the 50, then we could start back looking for longs. So if we get a break above the 50, we could start back looking for longs. That's why I'm keeping my initial bias what it is and not giving up so quickly on that. Right? Like I'm looking to take an entry probably here. Let's wait and see how we react. Nope, not yet. Not yet. Let's be a little bit more patient. You see why we have to be a little bit patient? So if we were to hopped in right here, right, and price started to pull back, that's not a good reaction of what we wanted. We don't want that reaction. So right now at the moment, price still seems to be bearish, and we haven't swept this level of liquidity here at all on previous day low. This may have very well been an entry point for us for shorts, but we're not engaging yet. We're still going to be a little bit patient. So while we sit here and wait for ourselves to catch another setup, what are you all having for breakfast this morning, man? I made myself some sausage biscuits. You know what they remind me of? They're turkey sausage biscuits. First of all, I don't eat pork, so they're turkey sausage biscuits. And I'm gonna tell you exactly what they remind me of. Burger King. I kid you. For some reason, they just taste like Burger King old sausage biscuits. For some reason. Coffee? Oh, I love coffee. But the thing is, I've been drinking Elianos so much to where I don't even have regular coffee no more. Elianos is like our it's sort of like Starbucks, but completely better. Like it's not, you know how Starbucks is, but it's not like Starbucks. It's not like Starbucks. So we're catching a reversal here. What did we say? We said if we get a break above the 50% level, we will look for what? Longs. So hopefully we could get candle closure above the 50% level to be able to go for longs. That's what I'm hoping. Let's see if we can catch an entry point here to retry. Yes, and I'm going to take this.
Order filled.
And the initial play still remains, right? Because this is somewhat a form of what our original entry point was, right? So to me, everything still remains the same. Everything still remains the same. I'm looking to be able to TP right here at above my first initial TP is right above midnight open. And I'm looking to be able to, let's see. This is what we want. We want our stop loss to be here, right? So our stop loss, we're looking at 75.83. Like, wouldn't this suck if it does this to us again? And at this day, it's like, nope, Jeremy, we're not looking for longs above midnight open at all, period. Obviously, you want to be in as first buyer, but no, we're not going to give you that at all. And wouldn't that suck? Wouldn't that suck? That this has literally just turned into an entry point for continued shorts. That would suck to me. I don't want that. Man, this was Dunkin'. Oh, hey, listen. Don't sleep on Dunkin' Donuts. Don't sleep on Dunkin' Donuts. When I was working at Cobb County Water System, when I tell you like that was, am I wrong? Like something inside of me is telling me, Jeremy, why are you looking for longs today? But then there's something inside of me telling me, look, like, no, hold your position. I don't know what it is. But anyways, don't sleep on Dunkin' Donuts, man. Dunkin' Donuts is like the holy grail of coffee, especially when you get like the right coffee. Like I like the mocha with like at least 3 cream, 3 sugar. Give me a large. Like you can't sleep on that whatsoever. We are in drawdown. So hopefully we get that bullish move, that continuation back up to the upside. I am not loving this reaction so far of what it is of what we see, but I do like it though. I still like ourselves taking longs here on that draw. We did touch previous day low, but we did not sweep previous day low. And that's where I'm cap. There's no cap. There's no cap in my rap. I know that sounded lame, but I'm just saying there's no cap in my rap. I could promise you that. So Starbucks is the best no, Starbucks is diabetes on steroids times 10. For one, it's even difficult to go to Starbucks and place an order, right? I have no idea what to say. When I'm there, I have no idea what to say. I honestly don't. I have no idea. I don't even know how to order at Starbucks. I could go in there and be like, let me get sure, uh, and then I always get confused. I always get stuck. So then I have to start asking questions like, um, or is it do you got regular like regular mocha? What's your regular mocha like? Or then I go from regular mocha and be like, "What do you have?" They be like, "Do you want to add all this stuff? You got to get a venti or a grande." Or I'm like, "Listen, I don't know what none of that is. I don't know. I don't know which one is the biggest." Somebody told me that grande ain't even the biggest. You got diabetes. That's why you like it. Nah, cuz that can't be why you like it. You got to get away from that stuff, man. You got to get away from that stuff. That is like the most extreme sugar you could ever have. Is that? That's the most extreme sugar you could ever have. And I'm talking about people be putting all kinds of stuff in their Starbucks drink. Right now, the market just don't know what it want to give us on today. Come on, market makers, give us something good today. Give us what we asked for. That's all we not asking for much. Give us what we asked for. Right, chat? We're not asking for much. We just want what we asked for. We want what we came here for. We deserve that much. Just get a caramel crunch. Caramel ribbon crunch. Let me write that down. Me and my son, I might take me and my son to go there today just to try this. I'm gonna ask him if he wants it. So you said just get the caramel, and I love caramel. Oh my goodness. Caramel ribbon crunch. What is all in that? Like obviously caramel, but like what is in the caramel ribbon crunch? Wow, look at that beautiful move to the upside, chat. I'm loving it. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is the move of what we were looking for here. We were looking for this early on. Obviously, price had to go a lot lower. So that means that we probably, when we look back on this trade, what is something that is going to play on our mind when we look back at this trade? Our levels of what we had marked out. The only level of what we did not have that was marked out was previous day low, but we did ended up marking out previous day low. We just did not sweep previous day low. We didn't sweep previous day low. We swept the level of liquidity of what we had here, and we touched into this discounted zone, but we did not sweep previous day low. And then we could see prices moving, is trending upwards now. We do want to continue to hold on to this trade. We haven't hit first TP yet to be able to move to break even. God favor is in that cup. What is in that cup though? I want to know, like, what do they put in there? Like, is it milk? Is it like what's all in there? Cause I gotta know how to order this thing, man. I might have to call you off stream to be able to ask you specifically before I go in there. Like, all right, what do I say exactly on when I go in there? What do I say exactly? Cause I'll go in there, man, and I freeze up. They be asking me stuff, and I be like, listen, I don't know. Just give me something good. And then when I do get it, it be all bland. I'll be like, why in the hell did I get this? Why? Somebody just tell me why. Tell me why. I'm loving this reaction. Beautiful. So when someone asks you a question, right? We've been here since 9 this morning, right? If someone were to ask, wouldn't this would so suck if we just fall back down on this trade. This would suck. But if someone were to ask you this question here, right? Just call after the stream. I sure will. I most definitely will. If someone were to ask you this question here, and this is what I found out that was important, right? And this is a little bit off topic of trading, but I saw somebody do a video of where they were talking about De'Aaron Fox and his performance in the NBA Finals. They said that they already built up a what do they call those things? A fund me now, a fund me now account, or whatever those accounts are called. Man, I cannot, like, when something happened to somebody and people go to put money there, uh like a fund me account or something like that or whatever. They said that fans have already created that account for them to buy out De'Aaron Fox's contract and send him elsewhere. I saw that and was like, what? Are you serious? Like, in today's time, like, are you serious? Like, people are really going in on De'Aaron Fox. And obviously he did play horrible, right? Like, I felt as though, like, how did y'all beat OKC? Like, I don't even know how OKC lost to them. You had Chet Holmgren, who was equally, if not around the same height or whatever the case may be, with what's his face name? Wimbiana. The dude was, I mean, come on. Like, how do you get outplayed by Wimby? But you have a guy in Carl Anthony Towns. You know who I'm glad he wasn't on the team? What is this guy named? Julius Randle. I think Julius Randle would have been the reason why they lost. Julius Randle in Minnesota is the reason why Ant couldn't get out of the playoffs. And without having Julius Randle on this team right here specifically is the reason why they won the NBA Finals. In my opinion. De'Aaron Fox is completely trash. I don't even know how OKC lost to them. I'm sitting here questioning Shea at this point. Shea, how did you lose to this? This is what you lost to? If Jared McCain would have stopped making TikTok videos where we're questioning his sexuality, you know, maybe a little bit more focus would have been where his focus needed to be, in my honest opinion. I just hate the fact that they lost. Because I'm like, if you beat the best team, how do you get damn near swept by the Knicks? How does that happen? How does that happen? I honestly don't know how that happened. I'm loving the break of above this order block of what we had here. So there is no reason for us to be able to take profits here. We're not at these relative equal highs. Maybe we should have taken profits here. Or taken a little bit of our contract off at these relative equal highs. But I'm still looking to be able to hold this. Jared McCain was balling. Yeah. I guess you could say I mean, he wasn't balling like how he should have been balling though. Like, come on. Like, you have to make yourself be enough. Chet killed the Thunder. Yeah, he definitely killed the Thunder. Like, he was horrible. Beautiful move to the upside. See, this is what I'm talking about, chat. Like, being sometimes, like, when we take a look at when we entered into our position the first time, right? Like, let's just go back and look at where we entered into the trade. We entered into the trade here. Obviously, we come back and it has this sweep of liquidity that's here. That mean that what? We were early. And what do we talk about being early? Like, sometimes we like to wait for more confirmation, but as a first time buyer, right? When you see swings like that, when you're first time buying into those positions, you have to increase your stop loss. And we weren't willing to increase our stop loss. Beautiful move. We're getting ready to hit our first initial TP right at midnight open. This is what I'm talking about. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is a beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. Now you can move your stop loss to break even. W's in the chat. I didn't actually move to break even. I just went below this key level here, still giving us profits, right? If we get a reversal from this point, but I'm looking for us to be able to sweep midnight open. I want us to take out midnight open for our first initial TP. I want that midnight open. Do we get it? I don't know, but let's just see if we continue to climb. Let's just see if we continue to climb. I know we've taken trades like this before, right? Like, obviously, we'll be so close to hitting TP, and then the market just literally reverses back, and we end up closing out at our initial entry. That has happened to us numerous of times before. But the thing is in the market, there's not you. What did Kevin Chenault teach us? Control what you can control. We can't control the markets, but what we can control is our performance, the way that we show up, us understanding key levels, us putting ourselves in position in order to be able to win. Look at this pullback that we're having here. So we want to just continue to get this trade some breathing room. So chat, let's take a look at it now. This is us on a 1 minute time frame. Let's just go to the 5 minute to see what we're looking like on the 5 minute chart. So this is that fair value gap that I was telling you about here. That's why I probably should have pulled us 50% into this fair value gap. I probably should have pulled us 50% into that fair value gap for a first TP instead of having TP right at midnight open. That's the mistake it is that I'm seeing right now. Is that we should have went 50% within the 15 minute, that 15 minute fair value gap, because this is what we're acting off of. We were acting off of the 15 minute. Look at that. We were acting off of that 15 minute, and we wanted to take it out. We should have had it at 50%. If you look at 50% of that, we would have hit first initial TP. So this is what you're getting that pullback from. This is what you're getting that reaction off of, is off of this here. So let's just wait and see. We still want to be a little bit patient. Patience is everything here. You want to control your breathing, control your mind, control your psychology. If the market decides to pull back and take us out of the trade based upon where our stop is now and where we move, we still made some profits within the trade, right? We still walk away with something. We don't want to give the market everything, but we still walk away with something. I hate that reaction off of that 15 minute though. I hope that we can continue to push forward, upward. But that should have been, that's where the mistake was, right? So we see where our first initial mistake was, is we should have went 50% of the 15-minute fair value gap. That fair value gap that's there. That's solely on me for first initial TP. I was a little bit greedy with moving it slightly below midnight open because I wanted us to take out midnight open. But at the same time, if you can identify those mistakes that's like that, then obviously, you look to clean that up on the next trade. So that's something that we will journal and look to clean up on our next trade. God, I don't like that reaction off of the 15.
Stop filled.
All right, we did get stopped out. But we saw exactly where the problem was, right? We saw exactly where the problem was. And the second thing is this is if we don't pull, if it doesn't pull back to break even, this is going to be the second thing. Moving our stop at that level. Moving our stop at that level. We should have held our stop at break even if it doesn't take out our entry, right? But at the same time, because the trade could reverse from this point. This is the reaction off of the 15-minute. But it's good that we walked away with something instead of not walking away with anything at all. Oh yeah, I'm so glad we walked away with something because look at this. That is not what we wanted to see. But we could have taken our first initial TP right there at 7604. 7604.25. 50% of the 15-minute fair value gap would have been sweet. It would have been so sweet. And to not get that, to not get that is so those are our two trades on today. We're not going to engage into the markets until PM session, right? We're going to wait PM session to be engaging back into the markets prior to FOMC coming out. So if you are with me and you are tuning in with me, let's lock back in at 1 p.m. We're locking back in at 1 p.m. The Fed's decision should be coming out at around, I want to say 2:30. I want to say 2:30.